Hello everybody, Fixxxer here, and welcome to my channel news for May 2017. For those of you new to the channel, I'll briefly go over the format of this video. In the first segment, I discuss news about me and the channel. I may go over things that happened in the previous month, and whatever. It lasts about 5 minutes or so each time I do this. Secondly, I go over to the current series on my channel. I go one by one. I discuss each one of them, what their status is, how long I expect them to last, etc. And then I briefly go over the series that ended the previous month. I just give them a little recap. I then move on to the future series that I will be doing for that particular month. If I know I'm going to be doing a game, I'll say as such, but I'll talk about games that I have my eye on, and those are never a guarantee. I just got my eye on them. If I can get me a copy, great, I'll put it up on the channel, but just stuff that I'm keeping an eye out for. And then lastly, I just go into some closing comments, and in the video, they're generally about anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes long, give or take. And I always put timestamps in the description below. So if you want to skip to whatever you're interested in, let's say you just only care about one particular series, in the description, click on the timestamp and you can jump right to that series so you don't have to hear me ramble about all the other games. Alright, so the first thing I have on my agenda today, May is Lupus Awareness Month, and I'd like to do my part in spreading awareness. My old subscribers would know why, and I got a whole bunch of new guys around town here, so today you'll probably learn that I do indeed have lupus, and there are different types of lupus. The type that I have is called systemic lupus erythematosus. This is the worst kind of lupus, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it for a few minutes to let you guys know what it is, and I'm going to link you to a video where I talked about it last year at great length for about 45 minutes, in case you want to learn more about it. And my hope is that you can leave here knowing just a little bit more about it, other than it being something of a joke on a TV show, right? So, lupus is an autoimmune disease, and what autoimmune means is that it will attack its own tissue. So your immune system produces antibodies, right? These go out to attack foreign invaders, things like viruses and bacteria. In a body that has lupus, the immune system will produce antibodies that can't differentiate between invaders and its own tissue. In fact, it'll make specific antibodies to attack its own tissue. This is the reason why this disease is called the Great Imitator, is because it can imitate just about any disease out there, because it can attack absolutely anything, any organ in your body, any organ, including the skin. It'll attack bones, it'll attack joints. So as far as me specifically, the video that I did a year ago, pretty much not a whole lot has changed since then. There is one thing that has changed, and I'll go over that. But my body right now produces two types of antibodies that are bad. One of them is a fairly recent development, but the first one is called anti-double-stranded DNA, and this is a highly diagnostic item of lupus. You always hear about how difficult it is to diagnose lupus, and that generally is the case. But when they see this particular type of antibody, it's usually a guaranteed diagnosis. So what this does is this anti-double-stranded DNA will actually go out and it'll deconstruct my own DNA. That means absolutely anything in the body can be damaged by it. Usually it starts with kidneys, but it then can move on to things like the liver, lungs, and brain, and skin, of course. Those are the most common organs that get attacked. So my body produces a lot of those, and so I have that problem to deal with. A recent development is that my body has started producing antiphospholipids, and phospholipids are a protective membrane around the cell. And the reason why these are bad is that it destroys this membrane, and that gets put into the blood, and it causes blood clots. Generally, it causes blood clots in the brain. So I know a lot of you have made comments about my memory, and especially in the kindergarten series. Well, one of the reasons for that is I do have cognitive issues. I have memory, focus, and concentration issues, and the bad part about it is they don't know why. And we've done plenty of tests as to why, and the most recent guess is that I have some kind of blood clots in my brain. We don't know that for sure yet. There's still lots of more tests to do to find that out, and I'm waiting in line to get that done. But that is that's the current guess as to what my problem is. If that is the case, what they do is they'll put me on chemotherapy and they'll fry my immune system. That way it can stop producing these antibodies. So yeah, those of you who are commenting on my memory, now you know why I do have occasional issues with memory. I actually have a very fantastic memory. Most of my jobs have revolved around having a great memory, but of course this has caused problems for me. My memory can be like Swiss cheese, especially on new stuff entering the memory and the very short lifespan. It's like having a hard drive with bad sectors in it. It goes in and poof, it's gone. So yeah, it would mean an awful lot to me if you guys read a little bit more about it. Hop over to the link I have in the description below for my Lupus video, and I'll go into great depth on what it is, mostly what it is for me, because everybody is different. Alright, so moving on to the next item on the agenda, and that's the sudden and crazy success that I've seen over the past couple weeks on my channel. Many of you have come here through the game Kindergarten, and it's been quite bizarre to me. The way I found Kindergarten, I don't know, most of you guys are new to me, so what I do is I actually spend an awful lot of time looking for games to play. I'm looking for hidden gems, I'm looking for indie games that are interesting that perhaps other people pass over. And I take a lot of pride in that. I think I work as hard as anyone when it comes to looking for interesting games. And I had my eye on Kindergarten for, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks or so. I thought that, hey, this looks like it would be a fun YouTube game. I jumped on it, I grabbed it, I played it, popped it on the channel, and everybody else kind of blew it off. So I was the first one on YouTube to actually publish it, and hence that's how you guys all found me. After that, word started getting around that it's a crazy game, lots of bigger YouTubers started playing it. You guys would search on YouTube and you saw that I was the first one on the list. Bam, there you go. So ever since I published Kindergarten, my channel has actually quintupled in size. And that's completely bizarre to me. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback, and it feels fantastic. It's really crazy how generally polite my comment section is. You got a few bad apples here and there, but you guys have been completely amazing. I'm first to be cynical about YouTube comments, right? They can be a dumpster fire on many channels. On my channel, I feel like it's not there. I feel like that I've got a pretty awesome group of people who just enjoy interesting games, and that's exactly what I want to have. So I feel very lucky that I have found that, and I hope that it continues that way. I'm going to try to make it continue that way. So yeah, thank you guys all for the support. And as far as support goes, as I said earlier, I don't do any kind of donations. I don't have a Patreon. I don't do anything like that. If you guys enjoy the content that I do and you want to support me, the best way would be how every YouTuber says it. To like and comment, that kind of stuff, especially on episode 1s. That helps episode 1s tremendously. And share it on Twitter or something like that. That's the absolute best way that you can support me, because I don't take any kind of monetary donations, nothing like that. Alright, so next item on the agenda would be current series. So on my front page I have a current active series section. I'll discuss each of the games there very briefly. I guess I can start with what remains of Edith Finch. I think there's 1 episode left by the time you're listening to this, so I think it goes up on Monday after this video. Fantastic game, absolutely amazing. One of my top 3 favorites of the year. I might put it at number 2, probably number 2. With number 1 being Night in the Woods and number 3 being the Sexy Brutale. Go check it out. It's only 7 episodes long. Beautiful story, beautiful graphics. Voice acting is top notch. It's a walking simulator, but it sets a new bar for walking simulators. In fact, if people were wanting to move over from using walking simulator as a genre into something called FPX or first person experience, this would be the game to do it. Fantastic game. Check it out. Alright, Outlast 2. That one, I don't know how far we're into it. I'm guessing probably not even halfway. I am doing that one a little differently than everybody, and then I'm doing like a co-commentary with Molly. She's playing at the same time I am, and we're just talking our way through the game. If you liked Outlast 1, you'll like Outlast 2. It's a gory horror game. If you don't like gore and horror, then you're not going to like it. It is what it is. Pinstripe, I believe that one also ends on Monday. It may end on Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday, maybe. I believe there's only 1 episode left on that. That was an indie game made by one dude. With the exception of the voice acting. He did hire people to do the voice acting, but he did the coding, he did the art, he did the writing, and he did the music. Unbelievable that a single person can be that talented. It's a cute game. It's about a man who goes through hell to find his kidnapped daughter. And again, another short series. If something like that appeals to you, then go check it out. Thimbleweed Park. I believe I'm getting near the end of that game. It is made by some of the people who are responsible for Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion. It is a modern point-and-click adventure. They tried to modernize what they did back then, and I feel they did a pretty good job. If something like that interests you, the comedy that was in Maniac Mansion or Monkey Island, give it a shot. It's a cute game. Very cute game. I enjoy it. Now, those are the primary active games on my channel. I do have some other games listed in there. I do have RimWorld listed in there because it was active at one point until I got a little bit busy. I'm not going to continue that one. I need to find a way to end it. I've just been too busy. It's been too long, and I need to kill that off. I may do some kind of send-off episode or something like that, but don't expect it to come back. As far as Alpha 17 goes, which should be out sometime in the summer, I don't know if I'm going to do that one either. I got burned out on RimWorld. I put lots of hours into that game, and I'm a little burned out, so I might take a break at the next update, just skip one, and then maybe come back on Alpha 18. I guess it depends what's added in 17, but what it looks like right now, I probably won't do it. Prison Architect, I'm going to do a send-off video on that one. I was already like a couple episodes away from it ending, and then I got really busy, so I'm going to do one final episode and end that series. City Skylines, I don't think I'm going to continue that one. I really would like to, but it's old again, and they already have a new DLC coming out, and I don't know. I didn't really like my commentary a ton with that. I don't know. I'm probably going to just kill that series off and rethink how I would want to do a City Skylines series. I think I would rather do something more along the lines of Strict Toaster or Flux Trance. I think that's a more enjoyable City Skylines series than something like what I was doing. So I'm probably going to kill that, and if it comes back, it'll probably be along the lines of what they do. And lastly, GeoGuessr, probably the longest running series that I've had on my channel. I've been doing it for years. They've made some changes to it. There's been issues and this and that, it's getting kind of old. I'm gonna kill it off. It's gone. It's finished. No more GeoGuessr for the time being. Perhaps it can come back at a later date, but for now, it's over. Alright, next item on the agenda is series that have ended. Obviously, you were all here for kindergarten, and that series has ended. I did all the missions, I did all of the Monstermon cards, I did this and that. It was obviously a fantastic success. When the game releases, they're going to add a little bit more content. I'll do videos when those come out. You can count on that. That's as close to a guarantee as I'll give. I don't want to give too many guarantees because you never know what's going to happen. But yes, I do plan on doing more videos on that when it releases, or whenever they release content, or perhaps even DLC in the future. I started and completed the Sexy Brutale, one of my favorite games of the year. This game, probably the most well-rounded, complete game of the year so far. Beautiful graphics, amazing soundtrack, good story, and top-notch gameplay. Well-rounded game. I highly recommend you go check that out. The Sexy Brutale, I absolutely loved it. Oxygen not included. That's another one that I put aside when I got busy. But I came back and I did like a world tour and I ended that one out. That was a fun game. I'll do it again if they add more content. I know they've added more since I've originally started, but I'm still looking for more content to be added to that game and before I do another series of it. But yeah, definitely we'll see it again in the future. The Final Station released a DLC kind of out of nowhere. That was pretty great. I really enjoy the atmosphere in that game. It's a little pixel art game, and in the DLC you just play a guy who's trying to get to a bunker after an apocalypse happened, and it complements the first game story-wise. It gives you maybe a little bit more information if you saw the original game. I really enjoyed it. Check it out if you like pixel art games. Alright, so that's all the series that ended last month, I believe. So before I discuss future series, as far as specific games go, I do want to talk about how do I determine what series I put on my channel, or perhaps what series I may cancel. So I'm always looking for new, interesting games. I like to keep the channel with fresh games. I know that I have old games on my channel, but generally speaking, I'd like to have new, fresh stuff with a sprinkle of old stuff. So I'm on the prowl for new, fresh, interesting games. So if you guys are looking for me to do a game, I am going to pay more attention if it's a game that is coming out soon than if it's a game that's like 6 years old. Because if it's been out, then chances are I've already looked into it, I already have it on my list, perhaps, like this War of Mine. That is a game that I've wanted to do for quite a long time. I just have lots of other games that I want to do too. So yeah, if you want to see me play a game, I'll probably be more interested if it's a game that is coming out soon than if it's a game that's old. As far as what series I may cancel after I start it, the best way I can tell to keep a series on the channel is how well it does. The comments, you guys letting me know that you enjoy it, the like button and all that jazz. That's how I can tell if a series is worth keeping on the channel. If people aren't enjoying it, then I don't want to keep forcing it in front of eyes, you know? I can just play the game in my spare time. So in order for a game to get all that face time on the channel, I need to know if people are enjoying it. So if I start a new series in episode 1, you guys take a look at it, let me know. Let me know that you want to see more of it. That's the best way to keep a series on my channel. As far as specific games that I'm looking at for the month of May, the first one, again, everything from here on out, there's no guarantees. This is stuff that is completely subject to change for many reasons. Maybe a new game comes out unexpectedly, or maybe I just simply change my mind because I felt like it, whatever. Astroneer, you can probably expect to see another series of Astroneer with Modi and Delgar. We've already done 2 series of that. They've added a whole bunch of content. Well, I don't want to say a whole bunch, but they've added some content. We have been discussing perhaps doing a 3rd series. So you may see that pop up maybe even the first week of May. 2 other games that I'm considering doing, these are games that have already been released. There's one called Blackwood Crossing, and there's another one called 1979 Revolution, and that one came out late last year. I don't remember exactly when, but I'm considering doing one or both of those. We'll see. I don't know yet. And there are 5 games in the month of May that I've got my eyes on. I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to do any of them, but they're on my radar, and I'll do them if I can get my hands on them, especially if I can get my hands on them before release. Or if it's a game that perhaps a whole bunch of you say, hey, I want to see that game. That does help sway my decision. And May doesn't seem like it's going to be a terribly busy month, but I'm looking forward to Peregrine, Perception, Impact Winter, Rhyme, and Roke. Those are the 5 games on my radar. Now what usually happens is I'll have all these all on my radar, and I may even be about to do one, and then another game drops out of nowhere. Happens all the time. So, not guaranteeing any of these. We'll see what happens. If there is one of those that you'd like to see, let me know. And if there's another game happening in May then that you'd like to see, then let me know that too. Alright, I think that about sums it up. Once again, I want to thank everybody for all the support that I've seen over the past couple weeks. It's been really amazing and bizarre to me. It's completely foreign to me. So it's been pretty nice to see that. And of course, once again, finally, please take some time and check out that video about Lupus, because it would mean a lot to me to spread the awareness and have more people know and understand what it is. And I think that's it. If you've survived this long during this video, I greatly appreciate it. There'll be links at the end for a whole bunch of different kinds of series. Go check them out. Thank you guys for watching, and I guess we'll see you in June.